Hi, this is Leah from Mommyish. This is probably like a really long overdue sort of tutorial anyway. The reason why this particular set, the actions don't work in PSE, is because that action calls for a lot of stops. And the way PSE works with actions is they don't really allow for stops. So unfortunately, we'll have to do this, by using the styles. But it's really not hard. I promise. It's not difficult. So I figured we'd get started. Once you load your styles in, like you normally would, use your metadata file and the styles, I find that I don't have to reset. What I do is I hit all, like for the layer effects, and then I go back to layer styles, and it'll be label maker 2. And you'll see that there's 8 styles here. All right, now I'm going to create a new document, a blank file, and I'm going to make it maybe 3 inches wide and we'll say actually half an inch tall for our first little label. All right, so there's the background layer, but we're going to make that like a regular layer, and I'm going to make the background the color that I want the background of my label to be. So I'm going to pick a tealy color. That looks good. All right, and I'm going to fill that in. Now what you're going to do is you're going to apply either or your label background. There's 2. There's label background 1 and there's label background 2. 2 is more subtle. 1 is, a little stronger of a bevel. So I'll go with that one for now because I have a feeling it'll show up better. Next, we'll add our text, or whatever you're wanting to add here. And you can pick any font you want. Impact is a good font that looks like the Impact, like Dynamo sort of punch. Is it Dynamo? I'm horrible. Here we are. Label. So it's Impact Label reversed. And I'm going to do this in white. And I need to make that font way smaller. So I'll move it down to like 14 and be like label tutorial. And I'm going to increase the font size. That looks good. There we are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that text layer and we're going to duplicate it twice. So we're going to duplicate this layer. All right. Now for the underneath, there is the label emboss, and then there's the label text. The emboss is what you're going to use for underneath, and then the one above it, you're going to do the text. So you'll just double click, and again, there's 2 options. I'll pick the second for this one. And for the emboss, isn't that great? There's also 2 effects for that, one that's lighter and one that's a little stronger. And that's that. So that's how you would use your styles to create a label. Then what you can do is you can merge these layers together and then apply one of the distress styles to it to kind of give it a more roughed up appearance. So, but that's totally optional. If you want it to be clean, let it be clean. So basically this tutorial is not only for people who are using elements, but also if you're working in Photoshop and you're wanting to make an element that isn't a punch label, if that makes sense, but has the same effect, then you would do this the same way. So for example, we're going to make a 3x3, and I'm going to put that there. I'm going to just make a heart, and we'll change the color of our heart to pink because pink's awesome. Maybe not that color pink though. There we go. And again, do the same thing. Just apply the style to the base layer. We're going to go with this one. Sorry, I have hiccups. And let's say we would type out love on it. So I'm going to write love. Put this over. Like that. All cute like. And again, we'll duplicate that layer twice, or once, I guess. We need 2 of it. And we do the emboss on the one, and we do the bevel on the top. And you would merge those layers together, and you'd have an element. And let me turn off the background so you can see how that works. Ta-da! So it's really easy to use. As you can see, it takes not a second to do. Fun for if you're wanting to create several labels at once. you can kind of bulk do it together. I hope this has been helpful and that you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.